Family Leonardo, me Nasiladi on Multimedia, the CEO Voice of Salon. Today I come for talk to now, my family, make una continue to subscribe to our YouTube channel and share to our friends them. As we always try to bring for the latest news what they happen around salon, whether it be politics or any other news them what they happen or gossip what they bring out to live and direct. So please, my family, don't forget to subscribe and share to our friends them. You wanna touch the bell icon so that you don't miss any video we will try for bring out to now. So that's also we want make una don't forget also for subscribe to we TikTok channel on TikTok and also on Facebook or Facebook page or the Voice of Salon or also the on Instagram Voice of Salon, please family. And don't forget to share. Okay, thank you now. Tata.
Hello, Baka and Yayo, and also hello to the membership of the loyal family. It don't take a long time. The last time I make an intervention, now in the form of some concern and for proffer and advice. But this debate don't they go on for some time now. Don't take it's about over 2 weeks. And as a member of this August family, I think I for just express some views and concerns on the issues that would be or don't take the form of a debate, conversation. We look very difficult to understand. We will get this dual conscience. We know plenty in this country. You get PC Coca of Rochifung, PC Kapua of Kenema. You have the paramount chief of Mashingbi, my younger brother, Baikur, Kanagbaro, and few others. My nephew in Cambia, PC Farma Bubu Angbak. Then, of course, my humble self, but maybe I may be wrong. Now, Kapua and myself attained to the position of permanent secretary or senior permanent secretary before becoming paramount chief. But me get another advantage of being a very senior diplomat who served at the court of St. James as head of Chancery Chancellor from 1978 to 1981. So we can look at things with a very keen eye and we'll be able for analyze situations where the ordinary folk not go able for understand. And they talk first of all on the general issue of Yayo and Bakar. Now the group I don't observe from comments, contributions by so many people in the groups who me believe say they constitute in incendiary threats. Incendiary threats are simmering in the body politic of this all important electoral justice. There are very real threats, and if we no contain them, we will believe in that phenomenon, we go off balance. And I sincerely believe from watching don't happen that some of our members in this group, then they use this electoral justice as a masquerade, you know, for spread their own ideas by sending red herrings to the membership of this group for put them off balance on the phenomenon of the electoral justice. What I want to make very clear is that this electoral justice is something natural, founded on the aspects of jurisprudence will deal with natural justice. It's an offshoot of natural justice. And then when the we don't listen to this great man who na what the AKA Encyclopedia, APC Encyclopedia Britannica, which that man they explain by one of the audios them, is very classical, very, very classical. And he been there at this group for some days. And anybody who listen to like will advise himself, say anything I do out of that track is not in conformity with the electoral justice who Dr. Samura they pursue. It is a phenomenon. It is not born out of an active process of conceptualization that you exist and that you ongoing is something natural, and the man who na the architect of this electoral justice don't make it very, very clear and the statement will be made on the 24th June 2023. We will look and see how they deliver the speech. It was a life-changing statement. And that statement they don't resonate in all the four corners of this country and beyond, not only in West Africa, but the whole of Africa and the entire world. And if the electoral justice go through, it reach the finish line, it will be an epoch-making history. That is the first thing we have to take into account. So people, they will come inside this group to serve as masquerade, utilizing the veneer of deception for slots in their vague ideas, then they make a mistake. Secondly, Madam Yayo Bakar, let me put it very clearly to we, the members of the loyalist group, and I will call the attention of all of us to one of the maxims who very fundamental in the Greek and Roman mythology, that change, seeds of change, the sprouts from the ideas of the elite. It sprouts from the ideas of the elite. For example, philosophers like Voltaire, Lafayette, Montesquieu, and so forth and so forth. Their ideas, then they sprout from them. Then people take on them, like Karl Marx and others. The ideas, they sprout from their minds. And these people constituted the elite of the societies in which they lived. Similarly, then one day now they play with the idea of a third force. What do they mean by a third force? It is so vague and ambiguous. You cannot define it. Is it within the realm of the 1991 Constitution? I was one of those that formulated the 1991 Constitution. And I have that pride that out of the paramount chiefs that participated in drafting that Constitution, they all don't fly with the exception of myself. It no exists. A third force no exists in the 1991 Constitution of Act number 6. So that one day when they talk about a third force, a third force, a third force, they don't even understand that power is a game. And you have to learn and also master it so that you are able to distinguish certain aspects of the power, the rhythms of power. Otherwise, you'll be, they fumble, they flip-flop. I'm sorry to say. A third force, what is very clear in the 1991 Constitution is that we moved away from a totalitarian state, one-party system of governance, to pluralism, to multi-party system of governance. And if you look at Section 34 of the 1991 Constitution Act number 6, it clearly states that political parties are hereby established so that they can participate in shaping the will of the people. That is the primary objective of a political party. They are not saying that a third force is hereby established to participate in shaping the political will of the people. No, political parties. So we have a multi-party system of governance. It's not just the SLPP and the APC. You have over 10, 12 political parties. So who said the third force will come out? Well, and senior economic policy makers, and Samura is one of them, they have always stressed that the strength of a nation, like the individual, depends on the ability to learn how to change and grow. Then are there senior economic policy makers. So anybody who know the rudiments or the nitty-gritty in the realm of economics, even know that the strength of a nation, like the individual, depends on that country's ability or that person's ability to learn how to change and grow. If we don't learn or we don't possess that ability or capacity to learn how to change and grow, us alone go ahead. Each time you make 2 steps, then they come back 3 steps behind. If they blame wetin dey happen na the country on political parties, they are legal entities. Legally, they are human. But it is not the party that makes a man. It is the man that makes the party. And that is why I'm always with Samura. Because he believes that power corrupts. And absolute power corrupts absolutely. But he goes further. It is not power that corrupts, but people without morals that corrupt power. Power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. That was during the 17th century when Machiavelli authored that famous book, The Prince. Now there he put her. Power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And Louis XIV of France built on that thesis. But in the end, it led to the destruction of France and the monarchy. And this is what we are trying to avoid. So the first time we met, the first day we met, we had to take a decision that this country has been operating under a one-party system of governance, absolute authority. Therefore, we should go back at the time of our independence, 1961, to pluralism. And that had the basis of Section 34 of the 1991 Constitution. That should be clear. So the so-called elites that are propounding this concept of a third force, then go tell me the true meaning of a third force under pluralism. Then they quote PMDC. PMDC was not a third force. It was a political party. They contested an election. They came third. And the leader and the members decided to support EBK, that is the APC. In 2018, C4C came third in terms of the numbers of parliamentarians. They decided to be neutral. And likewise, the party that came fourth, the NDC, headed by my nephew, he also decided to say, they stay neutral. And that is the situation. But third force, third force, third force. And this poses an incendiary threat that is creeping into the fabric of the electoral justice. It is not clear. It is very ambiguous. But, and this reminds me about the fable, the owl. Here, in Chimney, because Bakar, now from then Rochifunk area, but you come off from the chimney area there, the owl, Mapa Unyufu, who want to allow people there who somebody want an owl for their lead we. Mr. Bakar, Yayo are members of the loyalist group. The owl know they see during the day. Now next they see. Na night, in hide sharp. If you drop needle na net, it is here. But however big an object, you know they see them during the day. But we don't pass that stage there for people and for camouflage, bamboozle people. Politics can only come into politics not through the back door, but from the front door. Form a political party. And do not use the electoral justice as a masquerade for achieve your objective. So rather than helping the cause of electoral justice, you are sending red herrings for put off balance members who they support the movement. And this is not good. And this one, I don't learn the APC. I don't advise members of the APC over and over, over and over. Look at the situation in which we have found ourselves today. But Samurai made it very clear that he will not be provoked. Nobody can divert the cause of his action. And by saying that people should be patient doesn't mean that the man is not firm. Well, everybody knows, say, all that has been, all what you don't see, the man's commitment is so clear that nobody can derail him. He has said it. He has said it. And that message he sent was one of hope and dedication. The one they don't know how to forget patience, then they will likely make, or some of them have made, moronic mistakes. Because we don't get patience, you therefore make moronic mistakes. And that is it. Because when they flip flop, you don't show any art of patience. And patience in the realm of power, now one of the arts for achieve power. Patience is not natural. It is godlike. One of paramount chiefs there, especially northern paramount chiefs. It is not natural. It is godlike. The Almighty, they walk through spirits, that realm. Una ask them or man, they would do car. And we, for example, now the north, as in my own chiefdom, the moment they don't go to that place, na that shrine, they don't go do some sort of there's a clear indication that now you not the choice. If they don't run with you, that will be your end. That will be. It happened to me. The next one they say they will go, the bar will go there. And also my brother, Opa Kekombi, go. Oh, go na the play. The spirit don't answer the Gina. Now run and run with we. Now run and run with me. Because the breeze of what they make, because all the other Gina there, various chiefdoms, Magbema, Mambolo, Samu, they all they gather that particular night day. So once they don't give that answer, if you did it, you are finished. And when they don't crown you, you mash your food in at the 4 islands. That will be your end. Similarly, paramount chief of Lokomosama cannot go to Barbara. And so many. Where else like them day? It is godlike. Oh. Power, they revolve on people. And people are infinitely complex. The human being is very, very complex. And Dr. Samura knows that. The human being is infinitely complex. You can never understand the human being. Look at what they happen now, like these loyalists. But we understand the rhythms of power. When you want to be master of the game, you should also master psychology. Me no master psychology, but I do at the sixth form as the party general paper. And we will teach we Father Oduwaya. He was very good. He very, very good. He therefore know the motivation of a person and to determine his motivation, if you read through the cloud of dust, for know what is my motive of doing this thing. That is why the missing link with all them and they say third force, with all the one way they bring in other people, say that we can't help and fight, all them things. Watching at the motive. And some people sat down to read through the cloud of dust for no watching at the motivation or the motive. Yeah. They do a very good job. But now for control the group, some people then they come with press release them. Look, a simple issue of electoral reform. Somebody they go advocate for a referendum. Referendum? You know the implication of a referendum? What it will cost the states? For watching? Say for bring back the first past the post. The who make the constitution, it was the first past the post. 9 days under the relevant section. Now, when situation be arise, when it not be possible for carry out the limitation, now that they make that section 38B. But the real section 38 is for first past the post. So if any government come, won't feel say that thing they don't bring confusion, it's just to go to Parliament and amend Section 38B, remove that aspect of proportional representation. And so be it. Not substantive law, not to an entrenched clause. It could be amended by simply going through the formal way of changing a statutory law, which is stipulated under Section 108 of the 1991 Constitution. So these are all legal niceties, that we took care of, and some of us are still alive. I don't know whether that former professor na Frabe College, Professor Wright, very brilliant man. Now science, now one of the professors in the Faculty of Science of Shona Frabe College. Then, of course, Arnold Gooding is still there. We are all members of this Constitutional Review Commission. Few of us are still alive. Now, a very good document. Just like a political party. The party, they don't get problem. Now, the people, they head the political parties. Like the APC. Now, they're at the head of the political party now. Minkailu Masari, my younger brother, assisted by my younger brother again, Fodi Ansane. So I will go blame the APC party. The APC party, no, they talk, no, they do that. It's just a political party. But the one, they were the leader. So if the leadership fail in their own primary responsibilities, now the party go blame, now the individuals. Then the accountability aspect falls on those individuals that lead that political party. Now then they go necessitate for say the nullify all the political parties. What did the political parties then do? Now the one the way they lead them. You have to draw the distinction. But the British people don't learn we. It is not the individual that makes, it is not the party, it is not the office that makes a man. It is the man that makes the office. When you get an incompetent person as head of a department, not only the department they make am, now the man get for make the department. You go blame the department because of the incompetence of who happens to be the head. When I was Chancellor and head of Chancery in London, Chancellor and head of Chancery in China, the record was set. Church, the people, and they remember me. Ask them when they will be done in London, the time that I was there. I believe in discipline. And those that served under me, they all later occupy prominent positions. Sheikh Mansari rose up to secretary to president. When I was in London, he was second secretary. Rupert Davis, similarly. You know, he served as chief of protocol to Bakawa. Then he ended up as an ambassador, extraordinary plenipotentiary. I groomed them, and I'm very proud of them. So many of them, you know. When I was permanent secretary and industry, Mr. Kane, who later became permanent secretary, I groomed him. I was permanent secretary when they entered the service. So this is how you lead institutions. Political party now an institution. Yeah, how are you? Mr. Bakar, Unakushe. I didn't get one me, sister law. Yeah, you. The big brother, my cousin, the late Palma Miko Foyle. He been get a wife who later JFK been given an award. I think it was in 2006. That woman did them sue them. But when I was paramount chief in Mambulo, he go there, them call him, but they sue business. So now next they be the, you know, now they pull that song. But me no sabi sing like that me paddy. Those say that and the old na sanda. They sabi singo. But me na from Wala. If I say na la sing, but he sing that song there. Eya wayo wayo eya yo wayo. You know, that is the person say in head the heart. Now they say let can write letter for her. You know, and that song resonated throughout Putloko, Cambia district, and beyond. Became so famous. And by then, Poromen, they play them. They call that Mami the Kupra. I think she's still alive now, Cooper. My nephew was Sabia. Imran Chi. Kupra. Now famous woman. You know? But that song we sing. So person hear the heart, you know, that is either boyfriend, girlfriend, but he complain of he hear the heart. Because either the person they give now they say, come up Rika, you know. So what I can really say, yeah, you that song that I remember, yeah, you know. So I thank you very much, you know, it's very fascinating. Some of you go the car one chair, but I make one puzzle. See, all that here what they happen. This tug of war. 3 animals. The hippopotamus, the elephant, and the tortoise. You know, today, nobody, the university, gurus them, no come for say, this post will be put, now so. Nobody has given me any answer. Or political, activists, none. And I then can't see them for the look. Who will get that dual conscience? I will take this opportunity for say hello to my brother them, PC Kapua of Nongoa Chiefdom in Kenema district. You know, his father was my friend, although he be older than me a bit. Then, of course, Mikumane, Chief Koka of Rochifung, you know, Baikur, my younger brother of Masingbi, and a host of them. Then one was my very good friend of Kailaun, Mr. Musa. That man, they gave me all the necessary support for I will become chairman and leader of the SLPP. So I tell you, plenty I do, I keep fit, I try and maintain the institution of chieftaincy. Now, a very sacred institution, you know. The boss be say, I do something, now I put up something on the chieftaincy. I started, but one day I go to, I say, well, if I have to, I say it will take me a difficult task because I have to begin from Lord Elgin, you know, because I introduced the concept of chieftaincy through the principle of indirect rule. Now they say, of the did not go too far. I say, I mean, like detail something, you know, so that anybody read that, you would really know, say, this one a man of substance. So I thank you very much. Una get faith into the electoral system, into the electoral process, you know. If that they go through,